Hey guys, Prince of Mastodon here. I'm going to show you a non-ladder battle that I had today. By today, I mean the day I played this. Anyways, I'll be using the Dwarfs. My opponent's name is Womb Warrior, commanding the Empire. So look at his army. He has a lot of upgrades, probably too many upgrades. So let's go ahead and turn off the user interface. And let's go look at my troops first. So this is my army. I have a huge volume of skirmishers. As you can see, I have 2 Thunderers. Those are your dwarf handgunners, basically. I have 3 Quarrelers, and those are crossbowmen. Then I've got... oh shoot, I gotta turn it on, sorry. I got these Dwarf Warriors with the great weapons, and I have 3 of them. Then I've got 3 of these Iron Breakers, and I have 2... where are they at? I do have 2 Longbeards around here, also with great weapons. Oh, here they are. They're on this side. These guys. Sorry, I'm not too familiar with the dwarf units yet, but I barely play them. So yeah, I can't recognize them just by looking at the way they look. So, my legendary lord is this guy. Thorgrim, Grudgebearer. I'll turn off the user interface once we get into combat. Anyways, my opponent's entire army is hidden. Because you're watching the replay, you can see his troops. But during the replay, I could not see any of his guys. He has 4 Demogryph Knights. I will see them at that point. See that? Where that icon is? That's where I saw his Demogryph Knights. I cannot see these guys though. So he has 2 handgunners. He put upgrades on a lot of these troops. I'll list the upgrades for you so you can just read them off. Then he has... he does have a great sword unit in here. That's a regular sword unit. He has 2 regular sword units. Here's another, well, this is a spearman with shields. He has 2 of those as well. Where are his great swords at? Here they are. The great swords. Those are the more elite swordsman carrying the Zweihunde. And he does have 2 handgunners. I might have already mentioned that. Sorry if I did. And his legendary lord is Karl Franz. Turn off this user interface. So, make a note of that. I see his handgun, or sorry, his demogryphs right there, so I'm gonna form up to fight them. So now it might be a little harder to follow, but you guys said you like this, so let's make it hard to follow. We're gonna focus on the cinematics, the close-ups without the irritating interface. I mean, it's not irritating, it's essential. But in a replay, when I'm showing close-ups, you don't need that crap on the screen. So anyways, I'm sending in my skirmishers in first. I wanted to shoot up those demogryphs, but I didn't know that he was moving this way. I mean, I kind of assumed it, but I wanted to make sure this area was clear before I moved on. So while I was moving on this way, he had his infantry body coming in from this side. And he will make a decision to peel off his 2 handgunners, probably to confuse me. And the rest of his main body of infantry is going to hang back over here, but he will peel off those handgunners to, I guess, try to psych out my positioning, perhaps. So anyways, I'm moving into the forest here, and I see him emerge from the trees, and he's going to move his demogryphs out of that area. Enemy blood! So I'm wondering, man, should I keep following this guy? Because being without any mounted units, I can't possibly catch those demogryphs over there. I'm gonna form up for battle, and just... during the battle, I was hoping that something would happen if I just kept chasing those demogryphs. Maybe I'd run into his ambush, which I pretty much expected, since his entire army was hidden. Because they weren't out here. This is... like, around here, this is where the meeting engagement would have been, but he was not out there. So very soon he's going to peel off these handgunners. I forgot what point in the battle he does that, but he does do it because I do see them during the fight, and that's what leads me to follow them. Because they're a lot easier to catch than demogryphs. Alright, here's where they come out. He's going to move his handgunners out, and he's going to come in with the rest of his body behind them. But his handgunners are going to come out of this into the open, and that's going to... it's going to encourage me to come out and chase him. So what I'm doing right now I'm just tired of chasing him. I'm gonna go into the forest and just stay in the forest. I'm gonna make him take its own medicine. I'm gonna keep my army hidden now. And if he wants to play, we can play. But if he doesn't, I can annoy the hell out of him. Anyways, the rules for this battle were no rules, so there's no rules in this fight. Okay, so I got most of my troops in the forest now, if not all. And this is when he takes out his handgunners. It's kind of a bizarre move, but fact is, you know, dwarves, well, I don't have any mounted units. I didn't bring any helicopters either, so I can't chase him or anything. And even if I did have helicopters, I probably would not want to chase him since they're handgunners. Unless they had a crap load of gyrocopters. You know, you can bomb them a little bit, but I don't know, it's kind of risky. So yeah, I decided, hey, you know, handgunners are pretty slow, at least a lot slower than demogryphs, so I'm gonna take my troops out of here, but I'm gonna send my skirmishers out, but I'm gonna keep some of my troops hidden, and I'm gonna leave an ambush for my opponent's demogryphs. But he doesn't take it though, unfortunately. But I will keep them facing that way, in case he does. So I see his demogryphs go into the trees, and he's gonna make use of it. As you can see, it's a lot of me chasing him. So while my infantry is hidden in there, I'm gonna take my skirmishers out and just parlay with his two handgunners out here. Look how far they are. He definitely wants to try to confuse me, but his main body is over here. Now it's okay to hide like this, but I think he loses control of his microbe. He's gonna keep his troops in this formation, in this narrow width, which is probably not the most effective formation for fighting other infantry. So anyhow, yeah, these are my skirmishers coming out to play, and now I'm trying to lure his demogryphs out. I was hoping they'd come this way, so they'd run smack into my iron breakers over here. That's my most elite unit. But he is going to take a different route. He's going to go around the forest here. Anyway, so we're going to start the skirmish phase. Now, if we stay in the skirmish phase, I'm going to win. He only has 2 handgunners out there. I've got 2 Thunderers plus 3 Quarrelers. My guys will eat his 2 handgunners alive if he stays in this fight. But he does have his Demogryph Knights coming. Poof, 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 poof. So I see his Demogryphs coming over here. And I thought he was going to slide this way. So that forced me to reveal my hidden troops over here. My Iron Breakers who are waiting. So while that's going on, he is going to start moving his main body of infantry over here. See this? He has Karl Franz right there. Karl Franz is wreaking some havoc on my troops. He's carrying the Gal Maraz hammer. And I'm going to start outflanking him from different positions. Sending troops this way. Because he got his troops all clustered right here. And what I'm going to do, see how they're all clustered here like sardines? It's going to be a lot harder for my Quarrelers to miss. So I'm going to bring some of my Quarrelers back to start shooting that area up. And while that's going on, he did send his Demogryphs out to go after my skirmishers. But, you know, even dwarf skirmishers are pretty tough. They can hold them down long enough for the rest of my Iron Breakers to come out and scare away his Demogryphs. But that's going on. I'm trying to keep my skirmishers alive. And I'm also fighting off his this huge cluster of Empire troops. But yeah, here's Thorgrim. So Thorgrim is taking on Karl Franz. Now Thorgrim had this ability, which I purchased here, that if I lose Thorgrim, then my troops will fight even harder. They're gonna be so angered and vengeful that they are gonna fight even more effectively. So I thought that was a great feature. In case my opponent tried to kill my commander, it wouldn't be that effective. This is pretty cool. This reminds me of Alexander, that scene in Alexander where Alexander is fighting in the forest at the Hydaspes. Look at Karl Franz, he's trying to fight Thorgrim. Thorgrim's pretty damn baller in a melee fight though. Especially if you're in this kind of fight. So yeah, that's going on. And I got my dudes tossing explosives at his demogryphs. So remember, he has 4 demogryph squadrons here. So he's going in. I'm bringing some of my swords or my axes back to fight these guys. But right now, my priority is to shoot up that huge cluster of Empire troops over here. I got them surrounded, and I'm just shooting right into the very center of those Empire troops. I know I got some troops in there, but that's fine. I think it's worth the risk. Anyways, we're gonna watch Karl Franz duke it out with Thorgrim here. Whack. Let's do a close up here. Pretty sweet stuff. Thorgrim's gonna slowly move his fat butt around. And I don't know if I killed Karl. Oh no, sorry, he's still right there. Freaking tomato juice is exploding all over the place. Now this is the duel for the ages here. Thorgrim versus Karl Franz. Whack! I think I killed him there. Yeah, I think he's dead. Yeah, Karl Franz is most certainly dead. I can't tell. If you see him, let me know. I mean, by letting me know, I'm not gonna even know because the video's already made by the time you watch this video. So that's going on. All those guys are having a hard time. And his fight, where he's trying to take out my skirmishers, and I'm trying to take out his skirmishers and also his demogryphs, it's pretty brutal. But I got them tied down with my... I had some axes over here. And while he was trying to avoid them, I was just shooting at his demogryphs, so... I think his 4 squadrons of demogryphs would have been better served in the forest, fighting against my infantry. I mean, not this infantry, but the infantry that were fighting in the center, where my Thorgrim was. Because a few, a few hammer and anvil charges would have probably freed up his infantry, and then these demogryphs wouldn't have been fighting so isolated. Because right now the fight in the forest is pretty much in my favor. Let me see. Yeah, all these guys are routing, and I got my dudes over here just chasing after them. Yeah, these guys are all broken here. All he has left are his demogryphs. He has no Karl Franz, and it's just bloody. So all he has right now are these guys, and I still have a few explosives, I believe. Yeah. Look at that. This is gonna be brutal. Poof. So yeah, I try to focus on close-ups without the freaking interface, but I had to turn it on at a few points in this video. I apologize for that.
Don't stop them, they're all dead!
But yeah, I don't think you should be spending that much money on demogryphs, especially in a dwarf battle. Because 1, demogryphs got weakened hardcore in the last 2 patches. And 2, I don't have any cav for myself, so I don't know. I don't think that was the best army. And plus, look at all the upgrades he bought. See, that's the kind of thing I would have done when I first played this game, just because, I might have been experimenting. No, sorry. If I came straight from Rome 1, I would have been doing this. Because in Rome 1, upgrades are extremely important in low-money competitive CWB battles, which is like between 10k, 15k, 12.5k. But in these newer Total War games, the upgrades, they're dubious. Like, I would only spend money on upgrades after I picked my troops. Like, especially in a ladder type fight, I wouldn't spend this much money on upgrades. But he fought pretty well. He did a lot of hiding though, but he fought well. And yeah, good game to him. Hope you guys enjoyed this cinematic style replay. I'll see you guys later.